Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are picking up with kind of a fresh start with this series. Now for those people that don't know, I'm calling this my Beautified stock live stream. This is essentially a stock game, though I have prettied it up and added in some quality of life types of mods, but all the parts that you see are stock, if you include the two DLCs, the two stock DLCs as well. So again, welcome everybody. And what I got up here is a list. Let's bring this a little bit more in the middle of the contracts that I have, because at the conclusion of last stream, I finally got a big thing off my back, which was rescuing a Kerbal named Wafflebird from solar orbit. This is from an orbit that was inside Moho's orbit, and the thing gave me, well, a few headaches, and but it got done in the end. And so now this is kind of like a fresh start. I have completed the tech tree, so science no longer matters anything. My financial buffers, which were a problem the last couple of streams, have kind of evened out a little bit. I got a little bit of superfluous cash now, so that is good. But still, I do have a lot of contracts kind of sit in front of me. This is most of them here, and what I'd like to do is over the next little while begin to bang them up and bang them off, and I'm really concentrating on stuff in and around the Kerbin system, and by that I mean inside Kerbin's SOI, Kerbin, the Moon, and Minmus. And so all of these contracts, well, except for the asteroid ones, I suppose, which I'll get to, all have to do with dealing with inside the Moon's SOI. I want to use this as an opportunity to start to build up infrastructure. I have one very lame station in Kerbin's low orbit. I have nothing around or on the Moon, nothing in and around Minmus. I don't have transports to go around and between those bodies. And that's what I want to do today. But first, let's take a look at some of the contracts here. You can see them here, and there's two I want to draw some attention to because I do want to start working towards this. One is to bring a newly discovered Class C asteroid into orbit about the Moon. That to me sounds like a lot of fun. Not going to happen today, but I want to sort of pick out a likely candidate for that Class C asteroid. And also, if I go to the Explore Minmus contract down here at the bottom, oh, that's not the right one, I'm sorry. The Build a New Orbital Station around Minmus. Has a bunch of stuff about building a new station, but the thing I found interesting about this one is to build the facility into a previously undisturbed Class E asteroid. Class E is the big one. So I need to get that obviously in orbit around Minmus, and I was a little bit confused on this a little because, like, if it's, I gotta get it to Minmus, so I gotta disturb it. So I opened up the little extra information here, and it says that we're looking for a new Class E asteroid that has not been grabbed, clawed, or otherwise disturbed by another agency prior to the accepting of this contract. So I've not done anything with asteroids, so I think if I grab a Class E asteroid, bring it in orbit around Minmus, and then attach a station to it, in my mind, though I've been known to misinterpret these things, but in my mind, this should satisfy this contract. So what I'd like to do to start off with is, actually no, I do want to show you what I want to do today. Sorry, I was going to go look for asteroids, but I did highlight two particular contracts, or isolate two particular contracts, and these are the ones I want to work on kind of immediately. That will take the bulk of this stream and maybe a bit into the next one. One is collect some science data around Kerbin. I mean, you want to grab these low-lying fruit, but the other is to attach a new part to a satellite in orbit about Kerbin. So I got to attach a radiator panel to an aging satellite in orbit, and if we take a look in the tracking station, and if we just turn on these guys, the aging satellite is this one right here. So it's in an orbit out past the Moon. You can see it's inclined. In fact, if you look at it closely, it's going around this way. The Moon goes around this way. In other words, it's going around in a retrograde orbit. And I actually went and looked at what the inclination of this thing is, because that helps me with the whole planning process. It is in an inclination of 167 degrees. 180 degrees is dead retrograde. 106, anything over 90 is in the retrograde direction. Oh, thank you, Philip Booth, as a new novice rocketeer. That is awesome. Thank you very much for joining the YouTube membership team. But anyway, this guy is in retrograde, and if you're curious as to how I know it's 167, because if you go down here to the info tab, it gives you a lot of information that's really kind of useless, like its current altitude and stuff. I wish it gave you more orbital info, like it says orbital characteristics, but it's only the stuff you can see if you highlight over here. I wish it gave you the actual orbital parameters, but it doesn't. But if you go and fly it, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to waste time with it, then you can look at the orbital info and you can get things like inclination and stuff. So what I want to do today is build a craft, and I want this craft to not be a one-off. I want to keep this craft in orbit around Kerbin, and I want a craft that can not only complete this mission, but can also do things like shuttle Kerbals out to the moon, imagining if there was maybe a station out there, or shuttle Kerbals out towards Minmus, or any of that kind of stuff. So that's the mission for today. Okay, but I also want to take a look at asteroids, because I do have those 2 contracts to find an E and a C class asteroid, and right now we've tracked a whole lot of them. I do have a satellite in orbit, one of those ones with the Sentinel. It's around here. No, that's, oh gosh, what is this? Oh, that should be, okay. There it is. That should be marked as debris. There it is, that Sentinel one. It's tracking and mapping all kinds of asteroids for me, which is great. But what I need to find is an E and a C that's intersecting with Kerbin relatively soon. So they all say unknown object, but you can see actually it does tell you the class. This is class C, which is a medium size. And then if you go to tracking, we can see that this is going to intersect Kerbin in 164 days. You want to get one. The closer the orbit is to Kerbin's orbit, the cheaper it's going to be to grab. And you also want to get one that's obviously intersecting Kerbin. That makes your life a lot easier. So what I'm looking for is a C-class asteroid that is intersecting Kerbin relatively soon. So that's a D. I don't care about. That's a D. That's another C. So let's grab that one. I find the C's are the ones that are the most plentiful. Ooh, that one's coming in only in 85 days. I kind of like the look of that one. That's a D. There's another C. And we'll untrack the ones I'm not interested in. That one's coming in nice. That's another C there. See, look at this one. It's not even getting a Kerbin intercept. So forget you. I'm just going to say terminate, which means just, I read that as not you're blowing up the asteroid, but you're just not tracking it anymore. So I'm going to just do that. Yeah, stop tracking it. There's another C there. That one looks okay. There's another C. So we're just going to go through all these. Another C. Oh my gosh. And probably those are like my best candidates. These were the ones that weren't. Oh, I do have another C here. Oh my gosh. Like that. Now, when I come over here to the other side, like you see ones that are like, here's a E, but it is, if I track it, like in a way out of Kerbin's plane. I'll keep tracking it, but that is not an encouraging... That is not one I want to really focus on. We can do better. There's an E there. That one's better, even though it's not intersecting Kerbin, but it's my best candidate so far. There's a B. There's another C. That one's not intersecting Kerbin. These are ones picked up by that Sentinel satellite, so I'm going to terminate that. I got better candidates for the C. There's an E. That one maybe is promising. Again, that one's okay. Not intersecting Kerbin, but at least not... yeah, that one I'm going to terminate. There's another E out here. Now this one's... Oh, yeah, that's... I'm going to terminate him. You are not one that I want to... There's a D. There's an A. There's an E down here. Again, well out of the plane. That's not good. Terminate you. Oh, look at this one. Oh, my gosh. Like... That's, yeah. Oh, I'll pick the ones that are the easiest to get. So, oh my God, look at this guy way out here. You know, no, you're on your way. No, that's like a comet. Maybe it is a comet. I don't know. There's another E. Track you. That one has some potential, a little bit inclined. A, okay, let's see. Do I got all the ones now? Oh, there's an E here. Track you. That one has potential. D, D, A, B, A, D. Okay, that's that. So now I'll take off the unknown ones, and Joe just to the ones that I'm tracking, which is a little bit. So right away, you, I'm not dealing with you. Not a chance in heck. Same with this one, I'm not dealing with you. Terminate. Terminate. Oh, it still shows it there. Okay, I got it. That was the same one. I wish it wouldn't show it at all, actually, once you... So let's... I think all the C's I had better candidates. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to come over... Oh, this is turning into a... I wish there was a way to... Oh, I guess you can do it this way. Do they say what they are? They don't. So here... Let's see here. Okay, let's go through all the C's that are here. So there's that one intersecting Kerbin in 164 days. I want to get the one that's intersecting Kerbin in the most recent period of time. Like this guy, 85 days. That's the one I'm going to go after. So that's my C. Terminate. 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 That one might be a good backup. That one might be okay. Terminate. And terminate. Yep. And so those were C's. Oh, it's telling me down here what they are. C, there's an E. How many E's do I got? There's an E there. That one might be, well, whatever. E, E. So I got a few C's and a few, okay, so let's look at which one is coming up the most soonest. We'll set an alarm and then we'll go on with what we're going to do today. So that's 117 days to this Kerbin. There's the one I'm thinking about, 85 days. So let's open up Kerbal Alarm Clock. Add an alarm. The SOI change, and yeah, that's perfect. Give me like 6 hours warning, which is 1 day. So there I got that alarm when it's going to cross, so we won't be thinking about it till then. But what I want to get into is the vehicle assembly building. I was a bit late. What was the contract? So I do have a contract to wrestle a C-class asteroid into orbit about the moon, and I have a contract to build a Minmus station on an E-class asteroid. So that's why I was looking at contracts or asteroids just there, but that's all for the future. What I want to do right now, these are the contracts we're going to focus on today. In particular, this one, attach a new part to a satellite in orbit about Kerbin. So I want to keep this vessel I'm going to build in orbit. It's going to be a permanent one. It's not a one-off. And so I want to give it a home, and its most logical home right now is Kerbin Station. So basically I want to launch something, attach it to Kerbin Station, and then give it enough delta V so that it can leave Kerbin Station, get out to this satellite, which remember is in an orbit out past the moon and at an inclination of 167 degrees, and then return back to the station. Now we're going to do some aero braking when we come back to the station, but I figure I did a little bit of math on all that stuff, and I figured that I need a vessel of about 2100 meters per second at delta V, and that will give it enough to be able to go to the moon and back. That will give it enough to go to Minmus and back, so I can use that as kind of a Kerbin system runabout with that in the future. So I'm gonna get started with the KV-3 pomegranate re-entry capsule, mostly because I like the look of these roundy ones. This one holds up to 3 Kerbals. We'll take all the ablator out because this thing will never re-enter. It's not going to be used, despite its name, it's not going to be used as a re-entry capsule. And then I'm going to copy it. Oh, it won't let me copy it? Okay, fine. And I want to flip it over like that, and I want to stick another one on the bottom. So now this lovely kind of dumbbell thing can hold 6 Kerbals. So that's the idea of this. So, now these don't have reaction wheels, so let's start thinking about attaching some stuff to this. So, I'm thinking into here, we'll get an advanced set of reaction wheels. We'll stick them on the bottom. We'll clean this all up probably later too. I'm going to give it a pro body because I want to have the option to be able to fly this autonomously. I'll use the, there it is, the 2.5 meter one. Some electrical storage would be good. The Z1000 I'm sure would be fine. It'll sit under here just ducky as well. Really, oh no, and some storage. I want to give it some storage so that I can store stuff. So I think this is the 2.5 one. So let's start thinking about, you know what, I'm wondering, I think it might look better. Let's take this apart, this apart, this apart, this apart. Oh, I like it better already. Yeah, that looks better already. And on the top, because it's going to have to do some docking, I'll put a Clampetron docking port. There, that sits beautifully just up there on the top. Now, I'm going to power this with a Nerve engine. So, we're going to need some fuel, but just the liquid fuel. And I'm going to grab the Mark 1 liquid fuel tank. And we're going to grab a Nerve engine. This build might not be all that complicated. Oh, and by the way, you probably, if you saw the thumbnail, you got an idea of what I'm thinking about already. I already had been thinking about this a little bit. Okay, so right there. Here, let's get rid of the contract. I don't need to look at you anymore. Right there. Actually, maybe not, because I'll probably do something stupid. Actually, right now, let's think about this. I got to have an engineer board, and I got to attach a radiator panel edge to this satellite. So let's deal with that right now, because knowing me, I'll end up forgetting. Bum. Where am I at? Radiators. Radiator panel edge. I guess that's you. Okay, so that has to get attached to the satellite. Gonna stick that into a container. So hopefully I won't forget about it. And also, while I'm at it, I'm gonna change that probe body to the root part, because some of these capsules are upside down and I've forgotten which one was actually the original part. So I don't want to end up in a situation where suddenly, you know, we're flying upside down or anything like that. Okay, so where are we at? Where are we at? Oh my gosh, I'm already at... Is that right? Oh, I think we got funny... No. Disable... Okay, there's funny staging going on. Disable the staging. I'll never stage this. And disable this staging. I want to see it. I just want the engine. Yeah, there we go. 1,761 meters per second at delta V. Again, I'm shooting for about 2,100. So, and a little more isn't a problem. So, still a healthy thrust to weight ratio, 0.61. More than happy with that. So, let's find the Mark Zeros. Put in two-way symmetry. We'll stick on a couple there. We've got 2134. Should I call it at that? Probably not, because I'm going to stick more on. There we go. 20. It doesn't hurt to go more. 0.55 thrust to weight ratio with that single nerve on it. Happy. Compared to the stupid things I've been building recently, don't want to jinx anything, but this should be relatively a piece of cake. And that on the bottom. And then we'll sort of take these and I'll slide them in like this a little bit. So I like it so that, you know, half those nose cones kind of show. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, some solar. Now, I don't think I really need much. I think a bunch of oxats will do just fine. All right, I think that looks all right. Maybe two here. Maybe slide them in a little bit. want to come this way. Oh, does that make it go for... Oh, shoot. Okay, so what I want to do... Grab this. Go to the mirror symmetry. Put the snap back on. Now make it look good. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Likey. Oh, mirror symmetry. There we go. Yeah. Maybe this one a little bit more outwards. Sure. Okay. So, wow. This is really not... I'm going to need some monopropellant on this thing. Indeedy do. So what I'm going to do... Let's get some... Here, arrange these by mass. I always put some monopropellant here. I'm going to grab these little ones. They're only 7.5 units of monopropellant each, because this thing's going to need some RCSing. Maybe 6 is going to be monstrous amount, but I'm really looking... Snap that. I'm really looking at just making this transition between these two. These are serving dual purpose. One is to just provide monopropellant, obviously, but the other is to is an aesthetic to clean up this transition here, like that, and maybe in a little bit. I don't want it to look too funny. Be out a little bit. I think that looks okay, I think so. And that'll be lots of monopropellant. RCS blocks. Let's see, the center mass is there. I think I can get away with the small, the RV-1X variable thruster blocks. Maybe 4 down here and 4 up higher. Probably with these, because they're going to end up on the... I want these to kind of be... Their orientation should be... Oh my gosh. I can do it, words. You know, so that this thrust straight forward and that thrust straight back. Maybe a little bit of roly-polying them. I think they're pretty good. Maybe down here like that, just a little. Sure. Okay, and we'll disable show actuators, yaw, pitch, and roll. And then we'll grab 4 more, put them down here. These are a little more straightforward. Sure, maybe a little lower. No, the mass will go up. No, a little higher. Because as we drain fuel, this mass will drift forward. I'm sure it'll be fine. The reaction wheels will be able to hold all this. It's not going to be a problem. Again, show actuation toggles, yaw, pitch, and roll disabled. Wowzers. Still 2394 meters per second, over a half thrust to weight ratio, so... I'm debating how much storage is in this? That is 650 liters of storage. I'm just thinking of things in the future that I might want. Like whether I want more storage, whether I want... so this adds 180 liters of storage. And these add... Whoops. 60 liters of storage. You know what I could do? hold the Alt key. Okay. And then, although it makes absolutely no difference, turn these so that there's doors on them, isn't there not? Like they're not just cubes. There's the doors. All right. Snap off. They sit on top of that, kind of nice. And that gives me some extra storage there. I don't know. You never know. You never know. Is there a solar panel clipping into the cargo bay? There's a teeny tiny amount of solaring. No, there's no solar panel in here. That was blank. These guys are clipping just a tiny bit into that fuel tank, but not enough for me to worry about. There's nothing clipping with this. I guess this is clipping in there, but you know, you know, you can't do this all without clipping. Jeepers, I'm thinking this is pretty good. I keep feeling like I'm missing something, but I think I'm all right. So what I think I'll do, what I think I shall do is just light this up. Let's get some lights. So some navigation lights here. This is the starboard side, yeah. So the hatches, you know, it's kind of funny. I'd love to rotate this so the hatches line up, but then these two icons won't line up, and neither will these things, and I think it'll look funnier rotated, so I'm just living with it. With one of them upside down, that's just life, isn't it? This is the top, so this is the starboard side. So how about if I put them right on the top of this? Like that. Red and green. Red and green lights. Maybe tuck them in a little bit. Here, if I make them gray, so they kind of sneak into that, and yeah, like that. Will these blink? I think they'll blink. I think they will blink. Okay, so this has got to be a green light. And we're going to put the blink on. And on the other side, we'll remove from symmetry and make it a red light, and the blink should still be on. That's good. Okay, so that's a start there. I think it needs 2 more red lights and 2 more green lights. Or 1 of each, I'm sorry. Like another pair of those types of lights, maybe higher. These guys clearly should be the white color. And these guys will be solid, but this one should be red. And then we'll take this guy. Okay, now I can get rid of the contract window. Remove it from symmetry, and this one should be green. Okay. And excuse me just a second. Hello, Mark. Glad you made it. Heinz and other people that I'm missing. I'm really difficultly, especially when I'm building, I find it really challenging to read the chat at the same time, so I hope people will be okay with that. I'm going to throw in another pair of lights here and here. These are going to be blinky kind of dorsally lights. Probably a little higher now that I'm looking at it. Okay, and these will clearly be white as well. These will be white lights too, and we're going to up the blink space, half second blinking, boom. And this guy too, white light, half a second, blink on. But to mark this as the ventral side of the ship, the top of the ship, I'm going to actually take this one, remove it from the symmetry, and color it, shooting for kind of an ambery color, and make the blink a little period. So it's sort of, you know, so when Kerbals are on EVA, they know, especially on a symmetrical ship like this, which is the top and which is the bottom. The one on the other side should still be white, yes. And then we'll do a little bit of just sliding this one up so they kind of look a little bit like they're like a double light, like that. Okay, boom, 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 boom. I'm going to get some of these strip lights. I mean, this thing's going to be permanent. We want it to look okay, right? I think it's important that it looks okay. So a couple of strip lights like this. If I turn these on, well, that's the blink. That they can kind of light up the just the fuselage a little bit. That's all I'm thinking about. Sure, I think so. So white again, not the light, but the actual this part, white, and turn the light off. And we'll get another pair on here. Again, same idea, make them white. Just turn it on just a little bit. Turn them just inwards a little bit. I think so. Light off. And there should be some on the other side too. Okay, and finally, let me think. We'll put some spots up here towards the top. Now, can I actually, I don't know if I can put these onto the docking port. I think that might be a little, ambitious. So I might just sort of stick them here. And the idea of these is as you're approaching your target, you could be doing some work on it or something, right? You want to, there we go. You want to light up your target as you approach it. That's as much angle as I can get on those, and there's one on the other side. And I'm really thinking I'm closing it. Oh, what about blue lights to mark the hatches? Because you want your Kerbals to know how to get back inside. Blue, and these won't blink, and they will be white. Maybe tuck that one just a little bit more. There. And same idea on the other side. Because there's a hatch on the top hatch is this way. Maybe better here, actually, because that might obstruct the hatch. I'm not sure. And that's still blue? That's still blue. What do you think? What do you think? Is that cool? I think so. Well, I mean, cool's a relative word. I think it'll be functional. And finally, I do have a mod called Simple Repaint. And you can change the color of most of the parts. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the green. If you look at the, I'm not gonna make the whole ship green, but it's nice to have a little more. I mean, that is one of the issues I think with the stock KSP game is that, well, I can even color these. Is that gonna look funky? I don't even know if it did anything. That's one of the issues with the stock game, I think, is they're just that KSP2 does much better is your ability to personalize your craft. Though I have some concern, you know, I don't know. There are things I don't like about KSP2 as well that, wow, I won't. Let's not talk about KSP. This is KSP1. Green there. Boom, boom, boom. And I can't do anything with the engine. I think I'm going to leave the whole top section of this kind of the natural. There. This is the Nerve 1. That's its name. Named after the fact that it has one Nerve engine, and I have absolutely zero imagination. All right. I think I'm calling it. So this has got 2,369 meters per second. Again, over 5G acceleration, or 0.5 G's acceleration, which is fine. Do I need to worry about action groups or really? Oh, how about some sort of communication like an antenna? Stick a communication antenna on there. Just stick it somewhere that Kerbals aren't going to break it. Like off to the side here like this. Sure. Okay, and that will put on an action group. I guess it's action group 0. Whoops, I'm hitting the wrong. That's it. Toggle the antenna. Other than that, there's nothing that's deployable on this. Alright, so repair kits for future missions. There's repair kits on... Gosh, there's not much to break. You want me to throw some repair kits and junk in here? I can do that. I can do that. It's not a dumb idea. There's not much to break on this, though, but, you know, they don't take up much room. We'll put in 4 repair kits. That's clearly plenty. What the heck is the mini nuke thermal electric generator? Where'd that come from? I don't know. Is that stock? Sorry, I'm being distracted. That's a deployable part. Interesting. Okay. Maybe it's part of one of the DLCs that I've just never noticed before. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we got to get this puppy into orbit. So we got... It's 11.5 tons, which really isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. Just thinking about how to construct a fairing around this thing. What if I just went... Will a 2.5 meter fairing just kind of just... That's what I'm thinking. Just cover the whole... I mean, that makes my life pretty easy, doesn't it? Boom, just like that. We'll put some struts in there, because I don't trust just a... Oh, and I also have to put a decoupler, but so let's delete this. Delete the fairing, okay. Decoupler. TD dash, that's my name. TD-12 decoupler. Like that, and then some struts. We will strut from here. I never trust the decouplers just on their own. I just, what I'm gonna do, go to, try this again. Mirror symmetry. The thing I didn't like is the, now I can make them symmetric. It was the position of the RCS blocks, which I clearly don't want to move. But I think that looks maybe a little out. No, I'm getting too picky. Clearly getting too picky for something that just doesn't matter. Now, what I can do is build the fairing. Okay. Clamshell deploy, up the sides to like 6. Lots of ejection force. Should be good. Okay. This is Funkle. Yeah, no, that's about... Yeah, that's right. Let's put the fairing... Actually, I'll leave it in there for now, but probably eventually put the engine with that there. That's a decent state. Okay. I'm hoping just a simple lifter is going to do this for me. Like a Rockomax with a mainsail under it or something just really basic like that. Da-da-da-da. There we are, right? Yes. Like the Jumbo 64 with a mainsail. Nothing stupid, nothing fancy, just boom like that. I'd like to get... Actually, maybe build a little bit of an... You know what? I'm thinking... Yeah, let's use your head a little bit. Let's build ourselves a little bit of an orbiter. Like, it's funny, this is an orbiter, but something that can take this to the station. That's what I'm thinking about. So something smaller. Maybe a poodle on the bottom. Because eventually I probably want to put some fuel reserves at the station for this thing. There we go. Oh, that works. Yeah. Maybe a bigger tank. But there are no fuel reserves at the station right now, so I need a tug to bring it to the station. That's kind of what I'm after with this. I like the long... that one. Okay. So that's 1410. Lots of thrust away, like for the upper part of the atmosphere. I'm happy with... yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll see how that... we'll see. That should work. No, let's play with textures later. And then, yeah, that can... yeah. Actually, I should put... I'm always thinking of other things. If I'm going to do this, I should put... so that this thing can deorbit when it's done, I should put its own probe body. Not the Octo 2, this one. Yeah. Does it have... does those have reaction wheels in them? They do, but not a lot of torque, so extra reaction wheels aren't going to hurt. And a handful of batteries. And all I'm thinking about is after this tug has done its job, I want to be able to... is that all fitting still? I think so. Yeah, I should probably rebuild this. There we go. Yeah. So that's a little tug to just get it to the station, and then under that... the bigger decoupler. Move this up. And now I'm thinking a rock... whoops. Rockomax. Like the Jumbo 64. With a mainsail on the bottom. So that gets me between these two stages. I'm going to need... get to the station 37, so it could be a little bit more, but I got a healthy amount of thrust, so I can definitely put a bigger, another tank in here. That'll do it. That'll do it. Can I get away with a slightly smaller engine down there? Maybe not. That's 1500. There's no way the skipper will do it. Okay, let's live with our choice. Let's live with our choice of a mainsail. Okay. I think this will be a happy little rocket. A suggestion of aerodynamic stability by just adding a handful of tail fins. Like so. Launch clamps. Boom, 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 boom. That doesn't matter. Staging. We're going to take this right out of the staging. Take that out of the staging and put the staging in an action group, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Okay. Now I'm into prettying it up. Let's just go with all the white. White, 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 maybe a little dark circle there. Ooh, I like it. And I can make this different. There we go. But I can't... oh, you can. Yeah. Okay, I gotta adjust the TWR at launch. It's a little bit on the high side. Oh, one thing is this is going to go up uncrewed. Sorry, everybody. But there is no form. I like, mostly for immersive purposes, because you can always revert your save, of course, and revert back to launch. But I like, that'll do. Yeah, I like not putting up Kerbals in a craft that is incapable of aborting. If I put Kerbals in this and the abort, I had to abort them, they're gonna die because this thing cannot land. You know, there's no parachutes on it or anything like that. We'll bring the Kerbals up in our space plane. I'm thinking this is good. So the goal right now, let's just launch. We'll go. Add a big reaction wheel at the top of the first stage. I will if I need it. NC Davis. I was thinking about it, but you know what? We'll see how it goes. Air brakes! John, put on air brakes. Oh, you're right. You know me too well. I should definitely put on air brakes. And you're thinking a fuel cell for emergencies? Maybe, but the air brakes for sure. Thank you. Let's revert flight very quickly. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gonna have to delete this fairing again. I knew there was something that was in there. Was a picture in the thumbnail with the air brakes. Is I like to put air brakes at the very top. But four-way symmetry. Just like so. And, oh, that's a little bit, obviously not like so, but you get the idea. Like that kind of a thing. And the idea of these is that when they deploy, whoops, and you're aero braking, this adds extra drag on your, now I'm just noticing I best move them just a little because I'm noticing there's a little bit of, I'm a little worried that this is going to interfere with the docking port. I don't want anything like that happening and finding out later on that that's problem, you know, that's a problem. Maybe come in a little bit. Maybe come this way a little bit. I'll make them look good. So they're sort of... Okay, what happens if I undeploy them? But this adds extra drag for when you're aero braking. Now, the one thing... Take the deploy off. Is these guys are not very durable. And if you've seen... Oh, that is absolutely horrific. If you've watched some of my other series, you may realize... Somehow... You know what? I think I can live with that. If you've watched some of my other series, you might realize that I've, with the help of a friend, sorry, I'm being distracted by my own creation here. That I actually created a set of air brakes that were more heavier than these, but more heat tolerant for this particular purpose. But that would be a step too far, I think, from stock. That's not really a stock part, and I did say I want these all to be stock parts. So I'm not going to do that. I'm good with this. I'm good with this. Okay. Undeploy that. So thank you. Thank you, John, for reminding me about the air brakes. I think... I'm not going to go with the fuel cell. Fuel cell's great if you're playing with Kerbalism or something, but, you know, in the stock game, electricity just isn't that critical. Like, it's not like your Kerbals are going to die, which is important. Okay. I'm a lot happier with that. I'm sure I haven't really messed up anything on this front. No. Still lots of Delta V. So good. Launch. Launch. Radiators it doesn't need. Radiators are just for looks, as far as I'm concerned in the stock game. You need them when you're drilling ore and when you're converting ore. That to me is the only thing that I've never had any other issues with heat in the stock game. So I just don't. I'm not going to worry about radiators. I know technically the nerve engines, I think you're supposed to have them, but I don't care. Okay, so we're going to select our station here, Kerbin Station, as our target, and we're going to time warp so that the Kerbin Station is above us, and we're going to go there. And I'm also going to say if this thing fails miserably, I'm going to call this a test. But I know, when going to the sun, those radiators were turning on, but then I sent the fuel barge towards the sun, and I had no trouble without having any radiators. And the only thing that had temperature bars on them were the radiators itself. If I didn't have the radiators on, I wouldn't even known there was an issue. So I'm not going to use radiators. Okay. So this is on its way. Last quick look at staging. I think that's okay. All right. I'm going to wait for the target icon. Just get the end a little birdie there. Boom. How about some throttle? Go. Oh, wow, that's slow. Hopefully this will all fly okay and won't flip out on me. Does have a very, 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 very large fairing. Okay, a little bit towards the east. I don't want to stray too far from that prograde vector. Large fairings quite often turn into stuff that likes to flip around backwards. Okay, I want to adjust this to be 90 degrees because the station is in a equatorial orbit. So let's see, if I let go, does it settle on to 90? It does not, so once again, a little bit down this way. Oh, it seems to be stable enough. It seems to be stable enough. A little more, maybe. Alright. We're off. We're off. We're off. We're off. Maybe a little less towards the south there a bit. Oh, and reduce our throttle because our getting close to a minute from apoapsis. That's when I like to reduce throttle. Again, not quite on 90 degrees yet. Come on, pull that up a little bit. There we go. I see a fuel cell discussion going. I just don't envision a situation like I put 1,000 units of electricity on there. When booting around in the Kerbin system, the situation that has gotten me the most when it comes to electricity is if you happen to drift into an eclipse with Kerbin, and you're in Kerbin's shadow. Particularly if you're heading out to like the moon or coming back from the moon and your whole trajectory is in the shadow as you go down. That can end up spending quite a bit of time in the shadow, but I got 1,000 units of electricity, and even if I run out of electricity, nobody dies. It's not a big deal. I'm not... Oh, shoot! Pay attention! I'm not paying any attention. Oh, how about fairings? Oh my gosh, not paying attention. Talking about fuel cells and just flat out not paying attention. We're all good. Didn't notice anything was up until that stage ended. We're all good. And for those people that are new to this series that haven't followed a lot, this whole thing of making an upper stage motor in around 1,000 meters per second of delta V really makes nice... it really works for a nice efficient engine, and or a nice efficient launcher. And I'm bringing that up because over the past few streams you've seen a lot of not very efficient launchers because I was just strapping together whatever will work, but this is working very well right here. Okay, we are almost at 80 kilometers on our apoapsis, so we're already in space too. And in the cargo section, I just want to make sure I did put in, yeah, my radiator is the main thing I'm looking at. The radiator. We can deploy our antenna, even though we don't really need it. We can also put on our brakes, and that will deploy those guys. And, oh, I like the angle that they're deploying, so I'm just going to leave it that way. You can adjust the amount of the deploy angle, see, like that, so when they're fully deployed how much they go. You gotta be, if it bugs you, like you notice that they actually separate here, the hydraulic things, so I'm putting that back to 70 there. But I noticed for whatever reason you can't see that in the VAB. Perhaps I should apply some thrust as I am getting close to apoapsis. Pitch up a little bit because I was a little slow on the draw there. Okay, lock it back on prograde. We're almost there. I did not do that very well. This is terrible. This is terrible. I think I need to pitch up. Is that right? Oh, that's making it worse. Okay, just stop. Stop, stop, stop. You're making it worse. All right, so it's 77 by 82. 77 by 82. Let's get to our station. A little bit with the timing here. Oh, gotta come back. A little too far. Oh, interesting. Ah, here we go. I saw 0.6 kilometers. That might be my lucky number. Oh, 0.5. 0.5 kilometers. Half a kilometer. All right, so that burn's coming up in 22 minutes. A little quick save. We'll switch this over. Only a 2-second burn, so I'm going to reduce the throttle here a little bit just to make the burn a little longer. Okay, let's get there. F5 again. And this station, I'll let you warn. Oh, actually, the last time you saw this station, it was in a colossal mess. And it's not quite in the mess that you last saw it in. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was trying to do some rather ambitious, likely too ambitious construction on the station and left it all in pieces. You'll see when I get there. That was a weird episode. But right now, gotta do this drift burny thing. Get a little closer. Okay, 7-second burn. So I'm going to start the burn at 7 seconds, 2, and then I'm just going to go to half throttle. What I like to do with these shorter burns. And then I'm watching my intersect distance. There it is. And I believe I got it down to half a kilometer, so I should be able to do that. A little bit of RCS. Oh, that went too far. Okay. 585. Close enough. We're going to be there in 18 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. And stop and retrograde to target. Turn this to target. Target is somewhere. There it is. And I still, of all of the videos that I post, tutorial videos I'm thinking about, the one that I get the most people saying they're having all kinds of trouble with is rendezvousing. And one of the common ones I get is they can't reduce this distance, or sorry, they can't reduce this velocity without reducing this distance, which obviously you kind of want to do both. And what I would do is like, okay, first of all, I can see that the retrograde vector needs to come towards the left here a little bit. So I'm going to put it off to the side. And I'm going to give it a little bit of thrust. And I'm watching that distance. And I'm noticing right away, oh no, it's going down. But if it were going up, I would just stop what I'm doing and try a different direction. So I'm going to keep watching this as it still as long as it's keep going down, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And then if all of a sudden you're noticing that it's going up, stop what you're doing. Just stop. And as long as you're a reasonable distance from your target, well, I can still keep going. You got time. You got time to process and think about what it is that you're doing. Okay, this is going quite a bit. This is going further down than I thought it would. Okay, there, it's leveling off at around, you know, and then I'm going to let myself get closer. I don't know. Maybe people get conflicting advice when it comes to rendezvousing. I've seen some people talk about making a maneuver node, waiting till you're right next to the target and just throwing on the thrusters. And sure, I guess if that works for you, but if you keep this time to target not that far, like here I'm 35 seconds, but if, you know, as long as you keep that within a couple minutes, don't let it creep down too much. You got time to think about what you're doing. Again, there it is. My encounter distance is now down to 6.5 meters. Without it being, I don't know, too arduous. And if all of a sudden I was finding, oh wait, that direction's not working for me, try a different direction. And pretty soon you get to a point where you get used to, well, if I'm this far away, I need to push it more this way and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, otherwise, it's not that big a deal. Okay, I really do have to slow down. I'm only 10 seconds away. Less than 10 seconds away. Whoa, too much talking. There we go. Actually, just keep it on that locked retrograde. Let's think about what I'm doing. We'll talk about this station. So I'm just going to more or less zero this out. That's more or less zeroed out. So this station, let's come out here, is a little bit of a mess. There's kind of no doubt about it. This is the state after I did a revert, after I ran into all kinds of Kraken issues. This is the state it came back to. I really don't like it. I was trying to do some construction to get this thing to look better, but you know, I'd kind of given up on all that. What I think I'll do, though, just gonna use a little RCS to kind of park this guy a bit, is I think I'm gonna switch over to it because the station, this thing needs to dock to this. So what I'm gonna do, because I'd rather these two hab modules be close to each other. So I'm just going to undock this. And we'll just do a little bit of rearranging here. We're going to put it on this docking port. So we'll set that as a target. Control from here. And we'll come off to the side here a little bit and come down. And hopefully I'm missing. Looks like it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're going to bonk against it if you go that way. This way. There we go. So we're going to try and slide this over there. I think it'll look better. I hope it'll look better. I really dislike this station, but because of the 2.5 meter docking ports. But I'm kind of loath to have to build a new one. I don't want to do that. I like to use what I got. I actually experimented between the two streams over the last week with, can I bring up a piece that will fit in here? And I experimented with a piece of let me get this out. A piece of fairing, a fairing that was only partially constructed, so it would be like a cowling, like a tube, and the idea was that it would fit in here between these two docking ports, and then it would, when it was docked, it would cover up what's going to be this section in between that looks really ugly in my mind. And that didn't work. I could never get it to dock. It was always interfering, which I didn't like. And then what I tried to do is accomplish the same thing with one of those tubes. Those they're in the construction thing. Those, I can't remember what their official name is, but a tube. And that again, didn't work. The tube kept interfering. Like I tried to put a tube in here, and it kept interfering with the docking ports. I couldn't get it to work, and finally I just gave up on that. That was one of my ideas of what I wanted to do for this stream. But it did not happen. Okay, we're going to slide this over. How are the lights and thing? Oh, wait. I want to rotate this 180 degrees so that the hatches match. There we go. I think that looks better. Yep. Okay. Getting pretty close here. There. Get a little prograde vector on the Navball. And we're going straight up now. We'll get an engineer up here. I should have a bunch of struts aboard. We'll get an engineer to strut up this section, so at least, I think it looks a little better that way. A lot of lights. We'll get an engineer to look at this, though. Oh, this guy seems to be drifting with some velocity. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? How did you get so much velocity all of a sudden? That way. Wow. Just getting it to kind of stop. Okay. So we're going to dock this right. It looks like this docking port's kind of presenting itself a little bit. And then we'll control from here. Okay, I can see I gotta move that way. Make sure this will rotate without clonking anything. Aim the camera up here at the top. There we go. Maybe the docking sort of got things moving. I don't know, but whatever. We're okay now. It's not quite going the right way. Once I could see that prograde vector, you just put the prograde vector. I can see the target icon just ghosting in there, so I put the prograde vector corner towards it. It should get us moving in generally the right direction. We'll do a little fuel transferring, and then we'll think about... oh, we got to get some Kerbals up here. This thing's not capable of doing the thing. I'm just looking at the time. Might not get out to our satellite yet, but we're putting in a lot of infrastructure, which I really like. Because the idea is, of course, that... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm way too close. Wow. I'm just chasing down. I don't think I'm there yet. How far am I off this way? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This way. Nuzzle over this way. Darn 2D screen. Okay. Now we got it. Bonk. There we go. Okay, so that's all good. That's all good. That's all good. So what I want to do, can I shut down this engine? I can. So there is a fuel tank on here. I might as well take out some of this fuel. All I want's enough there for this thing to deorbit. I probably will want to at some point put some sort of fuel reserve on this, but for now, what we're going to do is we're going to find that decoupler right there. we're going to decouple you. And we're going to come back to this. And this should be able to orient itself retrograde and get itself out of dodge. There we go. Bye-bye. Alright, so that's gone. That's the whole reason why I put a probe body on that. Okay, so this thing's all sitting here ready to go. So what it needs is some Kerbals. So let's get down to the Space Center and get us some Kerbals. Hello, Pod Express. How are you today? Yes, the docking alignment, or Navball docking alignment indicators, the little mod I use that puts on that little red circle. That is, I don't know. You need some kind of docking assist, I think, in this game, and that's a pretty minimalistic one. Okay, we are going into the spaceplane hangar. I already know my ship. I know, and I just got to pick my crew. Just got to pick my crew. So our ship for getting into orbit is the Rapier 2 right there. And I think it's got... Let's just check the cargo, make sure there's nothing silly in there. Nope, there's not. We got to just pick a crew. Now, Jebediah has been flying. Bill, unfortunately, is my only engineer, and I need an engineer for this contract. Scientists are now completely superfluous in this game because I have completed all my science. So let's... Well, I do have... Yeah, my lowest experienced Kerbal is Wafflebird. Now, I find this interesting because in his log, it only says that he flew by Kerbin, but he most certainly orbited the sun. So why he only has 2? Like, that's such a funny log there that it just says flown by Kerbin, and I've never done anything else. So, okay. I guess technically he's never orbited Kerbin. Oh, no, he did. He sort of did. Okay, well, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. But we'll put Wafflebird in. Maybe that'll put him up to level 1. And we need a co-pilot. Oh, let's put in someone with some experience. So, Valentina. Okay, that's our crew for this mission. Yep. So, we're going to just launch. That's all we got to do. Yep. Yes, I do have to collect the science from the Orbit Kerbin contract. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. All you got to do is do something like a crew report. And I've had that contract for a while and keep forgetting to do that. So let's put on our brakes. Let's target the station. Let's open up our contracts. So I want to do science from space in orbit around Kerbin. So that's what I got to do. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We've got to get our station. So let's bring our station in here. We'll let the station get a little bit ahead of us, actually, because it takes us a while to get up in orbit with the space plane. Throttle up. And take the brakes off. Lights on. And we'll punch it. There we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Whoa, this thing, it really, get down. I noticed that last time I flew this thing, it really has an issue. Maybe I need to try and figure out what the heck is going on, but it really has an issue with wanting to yaw to starboard. I suppose that's that direction, and I don't quite understand what's up with that. It really wants to, it's doing it again. Kind of roll a bit towards the starboard and yaw a bit towards the starboard to the right. I don't know why. Because everything, I don't see anything that isn't symmetric on here. So what's causing that? I don't know. It's very weird. There's gotta be something that's not symmetric. Anyway, pay attention. Pay attention. Speed. Speed is the name of the game right now. Gemini 3 had the same problem. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I could just kind of take parts off and reapply them. That's the typical thing. I just don't feel like it. It's very strange. Nothing that can't be controlled. Like right now it's doing fine, but just right when you take off. Once you get a certain amount of speed, it just wants the track straight, I guess. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, we're at 400 meters per second, 4.5 kilometer in altitude. Good. Wafflebird should become a level 1 with the result of this. That seems funny. Got, of course, our level 4s. Oh, we're going a little bit too southeast. Tilt a little bit. Pitch a little down, too. Whoa, be careful. Jeez. Very twitchy. Same thing. It's really... I don't have the time warp on, though. It really wants to roll that way. I got to investigate this. I really do. It's not making it easy. I'm a little off the 90-degree heading, but every time I make an adjustment, it wants to roll, and that's making things kind of worse, so I'm sort of living with it. Okay, start leveling off a little bit. 1,400 meters per second. Once this speed starts to level off, I'll put her into rocket mode. And that's on Action Group 1. There we go, rocket mode, and we're going to pitch up ever so slightly. Maybe to about 20 degrees. Kind of hold that. My apoapsis is again about a minute away, so I'm just going to start reducing throttle a little bit. I find staying close to apoapsis makes the whole thing go a little more. It makes it take a little longer, but it's a little more efficient at the same time. How's my inclination with all of this? Yeah, my inclination is 0.8 degrees. I don't like that. I want to try and see if I can bring that down at the same time. Point a little more this way. Is that bringing it down? Yep, that's bringing it down. Okay. A little more this way. 0.6 degrees. Point 4 degrees. Yeah, maybe there's something funky with a control surface, or I don't know. But it's all right. We're getting there. 0.3 degrees. So that's a much nicer, closer to that prograde vector. Much nicer inclination. Might not be. I won't be. Oh no! See, now it's going back up. So I got a 0.3 is going to be as low as I'm probably going to get it. Yeah, let's lock that on prograde at this point. Live with what you got. Live with what you got. It's all because, like, Wafflebird and Bill are sitting on the same side, and they're causing it to skew over. Bill needs to go on a diet. That's what's happening. I don't know, looking at the time, might be able to get out. I think we're going to get to that satellite. I think we're going to get there. We're only about an hour and 25 minutes into the stream. Once this is docked with the station, getting out to the satellite should go pretty quick. Okay, that's 80. 80 kilometers on the Apoapsis, that is. Get ourselves into space, and then I can deploy our solar panels, though we are about to go on the night side, so that's not going to help us out. And remember to do a crew report or something once we're in space. That's all you got to do. Oh, I can't transmit it. I don't have an antenna on this thing, so I'll probably transmit it from the station. Like here, all you got to do to satisfy this contract is any kind of science. So if I do a crew report, that's science, and no, there's nothing there. But if I just keep that, now I can't transmit it because I don't have an antenna. But once I dock, I can transmit that, and that should satisfy this contract. Okay, get into Apoapsis, complete our circularization, get to the station. Bingo, bango, bongo. And let's get started here. Periapsis was already in the 30s, so it doesn't take much to finish this off. Okay, that is good. Roll this for solar panel purposes. Alright, let's see. Station. Boy, this looks familiar. It's exactly what I was doing just a little bit ago. Nope, more this way. Okay, let's get down to 1 second intervals. Now I do have a little bit of an inclination difference, right? Because of the 0.4 degree because of my crappy ascent, so that's going to factor into things. But nothing we can't deal with. Okay, I'm seeing 1.2 kilometers. That might be the best I'm going to get right now. It is. It is. Okay. Again, we will turn down the throttle on these engines. Let's go with 25%. Oh my god, I cannot highlight this. There we go, 25. Okay, and get to it. And we shall get to here. Yes, I have heard of the mod Persistent Rotation, and I really, really like it, but I've also had some extraordinarily terrible glitches happen with Persistent Rotation. So Persistent Rotation, for those people that do not know, is a mod that when you time warp, it does a number of things, but one of the things it does is when you time warp, it doesn't freeze all the rotation and attitude changes, which I really, really like. I like that idea. It does other things as well, but there are some horrific glitches that I've had happen with Persistent Rotation that I don't think have ever been 100% resolved, and so that makes me very gung-shy of going into Persistent Rotation. So yes, I've used it, but I'm not going to use it unless I know for sure that I don't get the glitches. And the glitches, by the way, have to do with parts that I leave in orbit. Suddenly you come back to them, and parts on that have changed, have rotated. And sorry, I'm also looking at this. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm not looking at the right dope. There we go. When you leave complicated crafts in orbit, especially in orbit around Kerbin for some reason. Sorry, I'm backing off with the RCS because I overdid that because I was looking at the wrong numbers. Sometimes you'll come back to them and parts on that craft have all rotated. And it's terrible. And so, yeah, that's why persistent rotation isn't around. I'm just backing off with RCS a lot here. Okay, I'm underneath. Okay, let's close that. Make sure I'm just sipping the monopropellant. But right now, I'm down to 900 meters. Which is interesting, because that was well less than what... I'll just keep, I'm just backing on. I'm holding the N key. I know you can't see it there. You can barely see that I am thrusting there. I'm under 800. I'm just going to keep holding this as long as this is going down. I'm going to keep... Like, part of me wants to almost flip the ship around the other way and use the main engines, but... Just keep doing this. Greetings from Poland. Hello, Carol. Greetings from Canada. Well, I wish I now flip. I'm going to flip it around. Sorry, it just kept going down. I'm not really using the monopropellant much because I only got the tiny little thruster blocks, but this will go faster. There we go, about 300. So about 350 meters per second. We'll fine-tune this with RCS. Okay, that's cool. 353. Funny. Anyway, they're in 12 and a half minutes. 12 and a half minutes to go. Okay, so... There's other cool things you can do with the persistent rotation mod now that we're talking about it. Like, for instance, you can set your craft so that it'll always maintain a certain attitude towards another body. So, for instance, if you have, like, a space station and you always want to keep, say, what you would consider the top of the space station with all the solar panels pointing away from Kerbin, you can set it so that the station will do that. Like, for instance, that's exactly, by the way, what the... International Space Station does. So if you want to do those kind of things, you can, which is kind of cool too with persistent rotation. Okay, anyway, same thing. I'm about a minute, just over a minute away. So let's reduce our distance here. It might be fun finding a parking spot for this. I put on a little bit of a docking node. Coming in a little fast, again. Want to get it over with, I suppose. Okay, let's lock that onto retrograde. Station is into view. Yeah, I put on like just a collection of docking ports, of 1.25 meter docking ports, without really putting a heck of a lot of thought into their placement and what would be docking with it. a little bit concerned there might not be room for everything. Tuck this down here. You open this up. Okay, where are you gonna dock? That might be a good thing. Well, whatever. Station's what it is right now. I think I can make it to here. Let's set that as a target. I can fit in there. I can fit there. I can do it. Okay. Let's. Okay. And we shall control from here. Pitch this way. Again, unfortunately, we're in the night. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fit. We're gonna fit. I thought this might be a problem, but it's not gonna be a problem. Nice, we're already all lined up nice. And we'll transfer everybody aboard this, and we're gonna fire it off at that satellite. Hello, Paranoia. Almost missed the stream. Well, you're catching the last bit of it. It'll still go. We still got some stuff to get that I would like to get done. I'd like to head out towards that satellite if I can before we're all done with this. But we have been collecting crafts up at our station here. I have a very familiar SSTO, but I built a new little runabout thing that we're gonna put these folks in, and we got a mission for them to do. And this is one of the things I like having stations for. There's lots of people that I've heard complain that there's not much use of stations in KSP, but I like using them as kind of a staging center. Place for you to collect vehicles, perhaps fuel them up, transfer crew and equipment around. Now, of course, that has to do a lot with how I play the game. Okay, okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Now, let's shut down these engines before I do anything crazy. And we do have some science with no science, but we do have a crew report here that we're going to transmit. For a little bit of cash. This should complete this contract. There it is. See, science data around. Look at this. It's a trivial contract, so why not do it? Okay, and we have to transfer crew over to our brand new ship. Actually, let's transfer Wafflebird. And we'll transfer over Valentina, who I just noticed now is in the back seat. That's not the right place for her. I don't think she transferred. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, is she over here? Wafflebird's over. Where did I put Valentina? Is she in here? Valentina, where are you? I must have done that. Okay, I'll take ownership for that. But what I want to do is actually see if I can use Bill. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll make our journey out to that satellite next week. We're going to use Bill. I want to strut this. This is just a 0.625 meter docking port. So we're going to get Bill out. We're going to do some engineering. Bill has become very, very adept at this. This orbital construction business. And let's see. Construction. Done a lot of this kind of stuff. I believe these are struts, even though you cannot see them. Actually, what I can do I not have some ladder bits around? I remember thinking I should have some ladder bits around, but these should be struts. They are. So I'm going to put a strut right about there to about here. Yeah, okay. I thought I had some oh, wait. Is it here? We're just going to clean up this station. The station depresses me. Okay, there should be... I'm going to strut it, make it nice and stiff, but there should be some ladder... Oh, maybe with the revert I lost those little ladder... I thought I had some ladder bits on this, but I think I've lost them. I have. Okay, so... In you go, Bill. Here, we'll just hang on to this ladder here. Okay, more struts. More struts, more struts, more struts. From here... to here. Put them like between all the lights. From here. Yeah. Thankfully, Bill has exceedingly long arms. And on this side. Okay. And I don't like this one. Okay, so that should stiffen up that connection a little bit. That's a nice use of struts. And I'm getting exceedingly picky about this, about where they are. Okay, and I like these lights to kind of light this section up, but there are these blinking nav lights. I don't like those. So we're going to grab these and we're just going to stow them away. Maybe we'll find another use for them someday. I don't know. And I also don't like these RCS blocks on the station. They're not necessary, so we're going to grab these. And we're going to stow those away too. Thankfully, there's lots of storage inside these hitchhiker cans. There. That didn't take too long. That looks good. Okay, Bill. Come out of construction mode. Oh, I think, yeah, you can fit in there. There are 3. This thing can hold up to 6 Kerbals, so I think that's pretty good. Okay, what time? Yeah. Let's head out. So what we got to do is I just want to look at parachutes. How come I can't see their parachutes? That's interesting. Well, they're not in there. Oh, it probably has something to do. Is there not cargo spaces in here? There are. I'm just going to put their parachutes in here. They don't need to take them with them. Save a little bit of weight. Never a bad idea. All right, so the plan. Okay. The plan is, well, I might as well talk about this. Is satellites. Go back to target selection, probes. We've got to go to aging Kerbin DSN-R satellite. Yeah, whatever. There. That's what we're going for. Now, you can see it's in a large inclined orbit. It's in fact in a retrograde orbit going in the opposite direction to what we're going to do. And the best way to accomplish is to do... Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to undock. Back away. Okay. We do have our thing aboard, our radiator. Can't forget that. So, oh, I lost my target. There it is. So you want to do the burn at this ascending or at the descending node, but since the ascending node is coming up first, we're going to do it there, and you're going to send it out towards... You don't want to fix your inclination now because that would be monstrously expensive. We're getting a little bit of a moon encounter, which is kind of annoying, but it seemed like we were able to avoid it. And you just want to get the apoapsis of your transfer out here towards the orbit, right at the DN in this case. But just trying to make it look like it's sort of in the right area. What is that? That's 15,978. This is 16.4. 15 point. Yeah, that's probably pretty close. I'm just kind of eyeballing. I want to just touch the orbit, really, is what I'm trying to do. But I think that's probably pretty close right there. And when you're out here, this is where you're going to want to do your plane change when you're out here. But I'm going to leave that for now, because you want to do your plane change when you're moving very, very slowly. Right now we're moving at 2.2 kilometers per second. We'll be moving a lot more slowly out here. We can also combine the inclination change with the getting our rendezvous at the same time. But for now, what we're going to do is get this guy going. So we need to activate this engine. We're going to fire her up for the first time. And we're going to F5. This is a prograde burn that's coming up very, very soon. So let's just push ourselves a little bit prograde right now, just to kind of clear the station. Get ourselves ahead of the station a little bit. We'll do this with some RCS. That should be it. Okay, and we'll get ourselves to the maneuver. Put ourselves on the node. Okay, and it's a 2-minute and 37-second burn, but that's cool. Yep, sorry for the people that are a little bit late. We are closing in on the conclusion of this one, and we'll pick it up next time. We do have, for those people that are just joining us, we have a satellite that we have to rendezvous with and do some repairs and return. This craft, though, is a keeper. So when this is all said and done, I don't want to deorbit it and put on parachutes or anything. It's not capable. I want to bring it back to this station when all is said and done, and it should have the Delta V for it. But that's going to have to be for next episode. Right now, though, we're 13 seconds from this burn. Why do you have air brakes on it, though? The air brakes are for doing aero braking to help create some more drag when you're... Sorry, just do and go. When I return back to this station, we're going to use Kerbin's atmosphere to slow us down, to save us some fuel. And these air brakes will be there to add more drag and to help us do that. But right now they're doing nothing other than looking awful cool. Which, let's face it, that's half the reason I have them on there. Okay, we can do a little bit of physics warping. Oh, there we go. Get this burn over with. Station is long gone. I like my little craft. I think this is going to be a handy little vehicle for me. The whole point of this is, again, I mentioned it earlier in the stream, for those people that are joining us late, this should be something that can service us well. Go out to Minmus and come back, go out to the moon, come back. I plan eventually to have stations in orbits of both of those two bodies, and this is going to be our little runabout to go between them. Okay, let's look at our map here. And get ready to cut our throttle once we get out there. We're going to be very close to the moon when this is all done. Alright, I think that is looking pretty good. We're clearly missing our satellite by quite a lot, but you know what? And also we are, 167 degrees off on our inclination, but all of that is going to have to be something that we're going to fix for the next episode. So I'm hoping people enjoyed the stream. And I really should, as always when I conclude these things, if I haven't mentioned them already, I really want to put a very, very special thank you to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who continue to support this channel. It's really nice to have that continual motivation that doesn't fluctuate with the whims of the YouTube algorithm. But for now, I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. I want to thank everybody that's watching this at a later date. And have yourselves a fantastic week, and we'll see you all again on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.